Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So, a brief introduction about myself. My name is Sunny Bilani. I'm an international tax and transfer pricing professional, been in this profession close to 16 years now. And yeah, without wasting much time, I have a limited time of 10 minutes. In this next 10 minutes, let me first share my screen and we will then go into how AI can be used for international tax practice. Are you able to see my screen? I'm just sharing it now.
Yes,
Is my screen visible?
yes.
And the presentation is visible. Okay, perfect. In next 10 minutes, I'll talk about how AI can be used to do the research and also to draft advice to your client related queries. But yeah, I am using AI for the purpose of Pillar 2, which is one of the international tax reforms. But the concept that I'm going to explain you, the underlying technology which I'll talk about, can be equally used for the respective um, participants and the juries for their own area of practice, which could be company law, corporate tax, transfer pricing, FEMA, any other area. So what is important is underlying technology and a process to ensure that the AI delivers what you are expecting out of it. With that, a very brief about OECD Pillar 2, what challenges I was facing when I started doing my research and helping my clients in advising on Pillar 2. OECD Pillar 2 is an international tax reform which is impacting large multinational groups globally, where they have to pay minimum 15% corporate tax in each country where they operate. And it is a rule which is being developed in consensus by OECD, with 138 countries agreeing to implement this in their domestic tax law. With that, with such an international legislation, there are a lot of documents that are getting created. Like, for instance, you have OECD model rules, then there is commentary, then there is administrative guidance and GIR form. And on top of that, there are country specific domestic minimum tax rules. With this, it has resulted in more than 1,000 pages of OECD-related material across 11 documents. 138 countries have agreed to implement OECD Pillar 2, which means there are 138 country-specific domestic minimum tax rules, each country having maybe some tweaks in their own legislation. And on top of that, Pillar 2 is one such rule which is a kind of a intertwined with financial accounting, international tax law, Pillar 1, transfer pricing. So it has increased the complexity of doing a thorough analysis. And also, when you're advising your client, you need to be 100% sure that your responses and advice is robust. So for this challenge, I developed an AI-based model called as Pillar 2 AI bot. What is the response? What this bot is doing is it's solving two problems. First, you can do a quick and accurate research using the power of AI on the Pillar 2 topic. And second, it helps you draft and advise to the client query in a very comprehensive and a robust manner, and with a reference to verifiable research material. So I'm just reiterating once again the point that while I am using this bot for the purpose of building an AI-based solution for Pillar 2, but what I'm going to do and explain you in next 3 to 4 minutes can be utilized for your area of practice, which could be income tax, GST, customs, or any other area of your practice. With that, let me give you first a demo of what this bot does for me, and then I'll explain you how you can build this bot as well in 1 or 2 minutes. So let me switch my screen and just let me know if you're able to see the screen. It's a custom GPT AI screen.
Yes,
Is my screen visible?
yes.
All right. Perfect. Perfect. So now this is the bot where you can ask any question on Pillar 2. So I've already drafted two questions, one relating to some research related point where I want to do a research across this 1,000 pages of OECD Pillar 2. And I want one answer from in a very quick time from this bot. So what I can simply do is ask the question over here and hit an enter. Within few seconds, less than a minute, you would be able to see how the AI starts drafting a response and gives you a complete references as well as to where the original document is, what is the page number, para number, where it has drafted or got this response from, and it has given a comprehensive analysis of one question. My question was how the stock-based compensation expenses are treated under OECD Pillar 2. And it has given a full analysis by breaking it down into different points. And for each point, it has given you that it is drafted this point of a response based on page number 61, para number 88 of a document, and then page number 17 of Pillar 2 model rule, and so on and so forth. Not only that, with the click of a button, you can actually go to the relevant document. So if you click over here, you can get a full access to that document directly on the platform. And then let's look at one example where at page number 61, para 88, this is the place where the bot has taken the answer. So page number 61, and we have para number 88. And this is the para which talks about the stock-based compensation expenses, how it should be treated. So instead of going through the thousands of pages of OECD material and finding out and across 11 documents, you can simply prompt and ask a question and get a response in less than 30 seconds for your research related topic. But that's one of the use case that you can do a quick and accurate research with the authoritative data. But that's not the only thing. I've also come up with second example where I want AI to draft a response to a query that my client has asked me. This is a very small query. It could be as comprehensive as it could be. It could be as complicated as you want to be. But I have, for the purpose of this demo, I've limited it to a very short query from my client. And this is like anonymized version. I'm just putting the same query again now over here in the prompt. So let me have a new version. Yeah. And I'll ask this question. And now I'm expecting the AI to draft a advice for my client's question. So it is not a research related point. It is actually a fact. Like I have put across a fact that A Limited holds 60% in B GmbH, and B has paid a dividend of 100 euros to A Limited. On that, a tax has been withheld at a rate of a 5%. Then how should that tax be treated? Who should take it as a simplified cover taxes, whether it's A Limited or B Limited? And it has given a very quick answer, like an advice, and then given an advice like who should be treating it as a cover tax in which entity, whether it's A or B GmbH. And not only that, you also, just like other responses, you can easily check and verify using the source document. So that helps you draft an accurate response to the client query. Now, this is for my Pillar 2 exercise. How do you develop the same bot for your use cases? There is this tool which I'm using. It's by customgpt.ai, where you can create your own GPT. There are three simple steps that you need to do to create your own bot. First, you need to get all the data that you want your bot to use when giving a response. So for instance, if you're an income tax practitioner, you need to upload all the data relating to your tax practice. By that, let me just explain you. So it could be your Income Tax Act, income tax rule, some case laws if you want to. It's up to you. How much
Last 2
data
minutes
do you
only.
want? Sure, thank you. As much data as you want, you can load it over here. So I have put all my Pillar 2 related original authoritative data points over here. These are nothing but original files by OECD. Similarly, it could be Income Tax Act or rules in your case. Second, you need to create a persona of this bot, because a lot of time it happens that when you use a kind of a GPT, which is ChatGPT or even paid version of it, it hallucinates because it's using a generic data. Somewhere it will pick up a data from some website, from some other website, but here it is only using my data. So I have a complete control and ensure that it doesn't hallucinate and gives a fake response. And also on top of that, I've created its own persona. It's a persona of an international tax professional. I've told what its behavior should be, and I've trained what it should constrain from doing, and how it should be guidelines of how it should give a responses to the client queries. So that's the second thing that you have to do. Once you're done with these two things, you have your own data set, you have your persona of the bot created. The next step is to start training it. Don't expect the bot to give you a response, accurate response immediately, but it will learn over a period of time. You need to train it, you need to improvise it. If it gives a wrong response, you need to correct it. It's like your I would say an assistant or a junior team member, where you can train it over a period of time and make him learn how to improve and give more accurate responses that you are expecting. So that's the
Nice.
presentation from my end. And thank you so much.